Absolutely right. Governor Palin is right. That's a great piece of advice, and that's exactly what we're doing. I had some business in New York today, so thank you for having me on, but our focus is Delaware. I'm going immediately back to Delaware. We've got a packed schedule tomorrow and attending a ladies' luncheon, and
does that mean, for example, all the talk about you got to do this national show, that national show,
no,
is that off the table for you?
It's off the table because that's not going to help me get votes. I instead want to go to as many town hall forums, as many candidate forums, as many church picnics that I can fit into my schedule so that I can meet the voters. Delaware has a very unique opportunity that other Senate candidates don't have, where I can be in every county at least every week, but like tomorrow, every day. I'm going to be in every county tomorrow.
So you're going to forget the taunting, if you will, of the national media.
Let them say what they will.
Okay. And you're going to, it seemed Rand Paul went through the same thing. He started doing a lot of national media, then he said, you know what, I'm sticking with Kentucky. So you're saying no to the national media
I'm not going to do any more national media because this is my focus. Delaware is my focus, and the local media is my focus. And it's frustrating because I've let the local media know they're my priority, but our phones are ringing off the hook that they can't get to me. So it's actually become an interference with the campaign.
What about debates? I know there was a candidates forum last night by the Tea Party movement. Your opponent didn't show up.
No, he didn't. It's interesting because a liberal Democrat organization has a debate 2 days after the primary, and that's a long-standing tradition.
Right.
And I went to that.
And he was there.
And he was there.
Did you call him the bearded Marxist, or is that the media saying that?
That's the media saying it. But if the media is going to attack me for statements I made in my 20s, then that's fair game. He made some very anti-American statements apologizing for America and calling himself a bearded Marxist. And that's a shame because at that forum, he pledged before a liberal audience that he wasn't going to go mudslinging, he wasn't going to bring up what either candidate said in their 20s, and that's exactly what he's doing. And yet he's ducking the difficult forums. So he'll only go to the friendly forums, but he blew off the Tea Party forum last night. So he knows that he has a record that he can't defend.
A lot of the controversial, quote, your statements in the past, because how many years were you a pundit? Because you were on years. I mean, you were a fairly regular guest. They seem to evolve a little bit around your religious faith and religious issues. Contraception, condoms and AIDS, gay pride, masturbation, which you've heard a lot about.
Right. Well,
do you think this is an attack on religion, your religious beliefs? What do you think?
What they're trying to do is paint me as an extremist so that people won't pay attention to my message. Because, again, my opponent is all wrong on the issues that are important to the people of Delaware. He has a history of raising taxes when on his former campaign trails he said he wouldn't, and then he does anyway. He's been called Harry Reid's pet, so he's going to promote the big spending, out-of-control agenda of Harry Reid, and he's going to support bills like cap and trade that are going to continue to kill jobs. So they're trying to paint a picture of me, and what those statements were about is, in my 20s, I had a newfound faith, and going on these shows, I looked at it as a ministry opportunity. That was what I did in my 20s. But that was a long time ago. My faith has matured, and as a U.S. Senate candidate, my promise to the people of Delaware is that it is the Constitution by which I will determine how I vote on all legislation coming across my desk. I have my personal beliefs, but our Constitution defends our right for the voters to disagree with me, and that's the right that I'm going to defend.
How many debates, because your opponent apparently is claiming that he offered to debate you a number of times. How many debates are you willing to do with him, or what?
Well, I'm willing to do as many as I can fit into my schedule. I'm not afraid of debating him. It's interesting, though, the letter that he sent over, he said of the 15 debates that we've been invited to, here are the 8 that I want to do, and they were all the forums that were friendly to him. It wasn't the 9/12 Delaware Patriots, it wasn't the Tea Party, it wasn't the First State, it was all the ones that he knew that he'd get the softball questions, and so I challenge him to attend the 9/12 Patriots debate.
A lot of people didn't expect that you would win this primary.
Right.
And I think there was a poll. How many points were you down like a week or two before?
I was at least maybe 11 to 15 points down, and then
you won by
last
6.
week, yes.
So a 17 to 20 point swing in a week and a half.
Right.
Okay. You're down anywhere between 11 to 15 now. So you
Right.
find yourself in a similar predicament.
Right.
How do you counter that, especially in light? And what's it like living under, being the main focus of every news show? Is it fun?
Well,
I'm
two things.
sure you're enjoying
it's not fun because, like today there was a news crew filming my father raking leaves. I went to a forum last night.
You got to buy him a blower. I mean, I don't know.
He likes that. It relieves stress, and he's under a lot of stress right now. But it's interfering with my ability to campaign, because even at that Democrat forum, we had an unprecedented turnout, and I am normally the last one to leave these events because I want to meet everyone that came there to meet me. And because of the frenzy that these things have become, it's interfering. So I've been talking to some of the people that have invited us to events, and we're asking them to not allow media to attend, or at least to keep them in the back so that I can meet the voters without them getting pushed, because that's the controversy of today, is media were pushing some of the people who are trying to meet me. But regarding the polls, I'm not concerned about that, because we're a week after the victory. We still have at least 40 days ahead. We're just getting our staff together, and we've brought on some of the best and the brightest in the business, and we've got a lot of material to go on the offensive.
Are you concerned about some well-known, and we talked about Karl Rove and his comments that were made the night that you won. Are you concerned about some of those statements by some conservatives or Republicans that maybe are not supporting you, or do you look at that as a badge of honor?
Well, I think maybe it's hard for them to see how this is possible, but again, I hope that they come around, because I'd like to unite the party. But we're going to get out there. We've got a winning message. We're right on the issues. And just like in my primary debate, as my opponent kept attacking me, eventually the voters went, hey, wait a minute, what about her positions? And it began to backfire. I am fully confident that as I go up there and meet all the people, that they will get sick of that too. And they can go to my website at Christine2010.com and learn more about what I want to do.
All right, Christine O'Donnell, thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it. Thanks so much for being here. Don't forget, by the way, our Tuesday text voting. We want to know if you think Republican women, you think they're treated differently than Democratic women. You can text us at 36288. Type H1 for yes, H2 for no, H3 if you're not sure. We've got the results coming up at the end of the show. And coming up, the race is on, and we've got brand new polls that prove it. So who are the Republicans pulling ahead of in key battleground states? We'll crunch the numbers, that and much more coming up straight ahead.